Uruvela, place of mortification. The Bodhisattva went in search of a better system and came to a settlement of 5 bhikkhus in the jungle of Uruvela. And when the Blessed One saw the life of those 5 men virtuously keeping in check, their senses subduing their passions and practicing austere self-discipline, he admired their earnestness and joined their company. With holy zeal and a strong heart, the Sakyamuni gave himself up to meditative thought and a rigorous mortification of the body. Whereas the 5 bhikkhus were severe, the Sakyamuni was severer still, and so they revered him, their junior, as their master. So the Bodhisattva continued for 6 years patiently torturing himself and suppressing the wants of nature. He trained his body and exercised his mind in the modes of the most rigorous ascetic life. At last, he ate each day 1 hemp grain only, seeking to cross the ocean of birth and death and to arrive at the shore of deliverance. And when the Bodhisattva was a-hungered, lo, Mara, the evil one, approached him and said, "Thou art emaciated from fasts, and death is near. What good is thy exertion? Deign to live, and thou wilt be able to do good work." But the Sakyamuni made reply, "O thou friend of the indolent, thou wicked one, for what purpose hast thou come? Let the flesh waste away, if but the mind becomes more tranquil and attention more steadfast. What is life in this world? Death in battle is better to me than that I should live defeated." And Mara withdrew, saying, "For 7 years I have followed the Blessed One step by step, but I have found no fault in the Tathagata." The Bodhisattva was shrunken and attenuated, and his body was like a withered branch. But the fame of his holiness spread in the surrounding countries, and people came from great distances to see him and receive his blessing. However, the Holy One was not satisfied. Seeking true wisdom, he did not find it, and he came to the conclusion that mortification would not extinguish desire nor afford enlightenment in ecstatic contemplation. Seated beneath a jambu tree, he considered the state of his mind and the fruits of his mortification. His body had become weaker, nor had his fasts advanced him in his search for salvation, and therefore when he saw that it was not the right path, he proposed to abandon it. He went to bathe in the Neranjara river, but when he strove to leave the water he could not rise on account of his weakness. Then espying the branch of a tree and taking hold of it, he raised himself and left the stream. But while returning to his abode, he staggered and lay as though dead. There was a chief herdsman living near the grove whose eldest daughter was called Nanda, and Nanda happened to pass by the spot where the Blessed One had swooned, and bowing down before him, she offered him rice milk, and he accepted the gift. When he had partaken of the rice milk, all his limbs were refreshed, his mind became clear again, and he was strong to receive the highest enlightenment. After this occurrence, the Bodhisattva again took some food. His disciples, having witnessed the scene of Nanda and observing the change in his mode of living, were filled with suspicion. They feared that Siddhartha's religious zeal was flagging, and that he whom they had hitherto revered as their master had become oblivious of his high purpose. When the Bodhisattva saw the bhikkhus turning away from him, he felt sorry for their lack of confidence, and was aware of the loneliness of his life. Suppressing his grief, he wandered on alone, and his disciples said, "Siddhartha leaves us to seek a more pleasant abode." Mara.